Sorry guys, a little tiny bit late. I apologize. A little bit late. Sorry, I was had a bunch of catch up to do. Not catch up, but catch up. Catch up. Let's see who's here. Jeffrey is present. Good to see you always. Mike is here. Lyle is here. Howdy. I'm usually late. Yeah, well, I'm usually a couple minutes late. We'll let it slide. Barry's here. Cecil is here. Bonnie is here. Hey, Ben's here. Hey, good stream last week, Ben. Or earlier in the week. Jeffrey says, yeah, welcome, Cecil. Welcome, everyone. Who's here? Is that Barry? Yeah, there's Barry. Kind of on island time. Haven't worn a watch in 2 years. Oh, Barry, he's down in the lower portion of Florida. Greetings, Zero Budget. Hey, yeah, there's Mike and Zero Budget. Remjet's here. Hello, my friend. Hello, Ben. Greetings to you, too. Nice to be in the audience. It is nice to just chat a little bit sometimes and not be in front of the camera. Start smashing that like button. Thanks, Jeffrey. Let's see. Like button officially smashed. Katie is here. Hello, Katie. Lyndon's here. Let's see. Who else we got? The two pillars of film-based YouTube live streams, Filmboy and Film School. Hey, Jim is here. Jim Cahill. Hello, my friend. Jim and I did a lot of back and forth. We text quite a bit on Facebook. Ketchup or mustard? No problemo. Finally got my 30 centimeter, $110 Aerie 6. Did you try it, Bonnie? Is it everything work? Everything up to par? Everything on par, hopefully. So we have a lot to cover today. This is gonna be a fun one. Hopefully we get some feedbacks. First and foremost, this is a frontal reminder. Frontal. I did get your email, Jeffrey. I just responded about an hour ago. And it's funny that I watched that film. You'll see in the email. Yesterday. I watched it yesterday because I saw the guy that shot it. I guess he's the guy that shot it, posted in a forum on Facebook. Really well shot. I'm very impressed with it. If you guys haven't seen it, Jeffrey sent me an email earlier. It was a what was it called? Mansect. It's a short film shot on Tri-X, 1 card of film, and posted to YouTube, and it was really well done. Really well done. Everything was done in camera, all the effects. So if you get a chance, look it up. Mansect. Hey, Butch is here. Greetings from Arcadia, California. Tri-X shot yesterday, shipping tomorrow. Woohoo! That's good to hear, Butch. Still looking for a battery. Oh, you're looking for the battery. Okay. Oh, Mike knows. You know what? You already know what I'm going to say, don't you? This is a frontal reminder. Frontal. Friendly and gentle. You guys remember these? If you're new to my live streams, that's why I have the second pad of paper out here. Today is live stream number 57, by the way. 57. So on live stream number 45, which was 5/19 of 24, May 19th, we talked about sending a bunch of film cartridges, 5 to be exact, to different people. Again, frontal reminder, we wanted to take about a month or two and shoot them. I've gotten 1 back so far. My buddy Jeffrey, this side towards the screen, sent his back. He sent his back in June. So if you have yours, or if you haven't shot it yet, maybe get rolling. Yes, May. I know, Mike. I am looking at you people. Yeah, if you hadn't shot them, and I'll tell you, let me call you out. This is so much fun. I'm just teasing with you guys. I really don't care. Take as long as you want. But we got Flying O. We have 42nd Street Matthew, my buddy Matt. Dave Knopp, a good buddy of mine. Jeffrey, who sent his back. And Manny, T.O. Manny. All good people. And I'm just really just busting you guys a little bit. No, Bonnie. These were the 5 that I sent. I sent a couple for the 5,000 subscriber. Those were just fun carts of Tri-X that I sent out. But in May, I sent 5 carts as a fun little experiment. Name and shame. No shame here. And if I'm being 100% crystal clear, I've not finished mine at all either. I'm number 6, I guess. I have mine started, but I haven't finished it yet. Hey, Mike. Hello, everyone. Hey, Filmboy. So I haven't finished mine yet either. Just if it's if it's on the back burner, maybe put it on the middle burner. So let's get I want to show these if you really want it shown, but it would be kind of fun. It would be a fun experiment. Hey, there's Jim from Greece. Hi from the other side of the Atlantic to all. Jim, but not Morrison. Had the hardest word. You did have the toughest word. Jeffrey had empty. Empty. Just to recap the words, mine was time. Mike over at Flying O, his word was art. He may have had the easiest one. No, it's probably not the easiest one. Matthew had food. Dave Knopp had hope. Jeffrey had empty. And Manny had play. Just fun little muse words. Hey, there's Manny. We were just talking about you, amongst others, Manny. Shot some, had other ideas, shot a little more, but not done. That's okay. All right, Mike. I'm done teasing you guys. Okay. Steven's not in here yet, or is at all. Is he? Steven at New World Films. Sent your film back yesterday. So if you're watching this after the fact, Steven, your film is on the way. The films, I had some films that I scanned, 16 millimeters, and I think regular 8. That's on its way back to you. We're going to have some fun today with eBay listings. We all shop on eBay. I don't care where you live in the entire world unless it's banned in your part of the world. Cecil, hello, Manny. Film is coming soon. All right, that's fine. Okay, Manny. I think Manny shot his. His is done, I believe. We're going to have a little fun with eBay. I have some photos I want to show you guys. It's all about when you sell on eBay. First of all, if you sell, I've been selling on eBay since 1998. I don't do a lot of it much anymore. But I've sold thousands and thousands of items on eBay. Do a little bit of diligence, a little bit of work when you're selling on eBay, a tiny bit. And I know there's a lot of flippers, a lot of resellers that just buy anything and everything that they think might make money and list it. That's common. But this one, these two that I'm going to show you kind of hit a little closer to home because they're film related. And it's when people buy and sell film related items that have absolutely no idea what they're doing. And this is just for fun. I'm not really poking at anybody in particular, but I have to show you guys these listings. Oh, Bonnie says, I'm looking at 16 millimeter roll of Kodak 50D from 88. Always been stored in cold environment. It's at $8 US right now. As long as you know it's been stored in a cold environment. As long as you know. If it's from 88 and it's Kodak 50D, it's old school 50D. It's like EXR 50D. Just ask Lyle about EXR 50D. Hey Lyle, pro tip, don't buy recans. That's taken us right into Lyle. Lyle and I had some back and forth about some film that he bought as recans, sold to him as 250D, and it turns out it's really old 50D EXR film. Still actually didn't look terrible when he shot it at 50 ISO. All the film stock I have, I store in the deep freezer. I'm with you on that, Mike. About 80% of my film is stored in the deep freezer in my garage. But it's full, so I have a lot of film, so I keep some back there. I keep my house at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. I have a lot here. I've shown you guys this. This I probably should be storing in the deep freezer, but it's not currently. I really like this pack of film right here. You guys remember this? I'm dropping things. My miniature camera. You guys remember this? I bought these from a guy for $10 each. $10. I've had them a couple years. And they've been stored in my house, not in a freezer, for the whole time. And that goes 2 layers deep. Woo! Show off. You know, I was at the right place at the wrong time, or wrong place at the right time, or I was just at the right place at the right time. 99% of it is Vision 2 50D, 16 millimeter. Not freezer stored. I think it's irrelevant at this point because I don't think it was freezer stored when I got it from him. You know, ironically, I bought it for $10 a roll. There was a lot, 80 something rolls or something like that. And there was more than just this 50D. There was a lot of different film, and I have tons of it. I'm gonna put this down here. But he sent it in a rolling Pelican case as its container. So I now have this Pelican case, a big, you know, like a rolling Pelican case too. It's, you know, those things are a couple $100. Nicey, yeah. I don't know. That's a good experimental film bag right there. That's I shot several rolls of that. Radios is here. You didn't get a notification. Yeah, I like this. I like this mic. I've had this for years. I think my wife got it for me somewhere, or my daughter. I don't know if they got it at a dollar store. It's just a little camera, movie camera keychain, and you push the little button on the front. Watch this. Ironically, it kind of sounds like a projector, but is a camera. But it's always been cool. All right, back to planning on only developing it as black and white. Oh wait, Bonnie's got something going on. Bonnie got something going on. Planning on developing it only as what, Bonnie? Planning on only developing it as black and white. So much easier to develop black and white than it is color. I know some people don't believe that because black and white has a lot of different time and temperatures that you can play with, and nailing those can be tricky. Whereas color film, you know, whether you're doing ECN2 or E6 or any other old color processes, they're a basic time and temperature. But I find black and white way more satisfying. To be fair, got a $120 rebate from the seller. Oh, you did? Is that the whole amount? Wow. Did you get all the money back? That would be great. What are we doing here? Ooh, the thing is freaking cute. I know, I love it. Quarters? No. Quartz? No. Sorry guys, I'm losing you. All right, let me show you guys something. I know I'm gonna end up missing some of these texts or some of these messages, and I hate to, but 50D, I think. Her 1988 50D. Oh, her old 50D. I got you. Black and white. You might try it in color, but when you shoot it, you really need to overexpose it, Bonnie. I would shoot it at like 12 ISO, something like that. I was distracted and saw the stream, and I was like, oh no. Yeah, I know. I don't know why you didn't get the notification. Doesn't longer development time for black and white stock increase the contrast a little? It depends, Mike. Well, I only develop, Ben develops in a reversal a lot more than I do. I don't like doing reversal, and I only don't like doing it because I don't like the bleaching process. I have done it. I'm just not a fan of it, of the process. I love the outcome. So when you develop it as a negative, typically the longer you go, the more dense and the more contrasty it gets. So if you're developing something like old Kodachrome or old Ektachrome, you rarely need to go over 5 to 7 minutes. In fact, if it's really old Kodachrome, you want to stay in the 3-minute range. The longer you go, typically with a black and white negatives, the more dense your film is going to be. Jim says, I've had some good luck on eBay with Super 8 cameras, but the majority of my Super 8 cameras I've got at yard sales, estate sales. I bought many Canon 814 auto zooms that way, and wow, and that's the way to do it, Jim. Yard sales, garage sales, those are where you get the deals. How often do you black and white negative versus reversal? I think I just answered that, Ben. Rarely. I've done some black and white reversal in the past. I just don't really do it anymore. Reversal is what I want to do. Reversal, I will tell you, it's awesome if you're going to, especially if you're going to project your film. It's the only way to do it. but there's a lot less latitude once you scan it when it's reversal, but it's gorgeous. I wish the bleaching process, wish there were better alternatives than the peroxide alternative and whatnot. I wish there were some that weren't so caustic and acidic and just overall just not good for you or the environment. Yeah, I'm not a fan of processing reversal, but I do love the grain if you process it as a negative. Yeah, and I love the you know, just how much you get out of it as a negative. Supporting local business, that's right. All right, so everybody has seen stuff like this, and we got a couple films we're going to show you guys too. Everybody's seen stuff like this. This is just old film. These are old films that you would get at a flea market or a yard sale or on eBay. Thousands of these. Basically, a family will shoot film in the 70s, 60s, 50s, 80s. They shoot film, family events, baseball games, Christmas, Easter, you know, all the events, birthday parties, kids mainly, and pets. Well, those films make the rounds throughout the family. They get transferred to VHS and then retransferred to DVD and then retransferred and retransferred. When the kids are old enough to finally say, it's been transferred enough, we've seen us as kids long enough, let's get rid of the films, we have the transfers, which I think is a bad idea, but it happens. And there's literally thousands of old family films listed on eBay all the time. All the time. I know, I have some of them. I purchased some in the past to do some, like I used to do Super 8 Sundays and then Small Film Showcase, where I would show kind of an interesting film every now and then shot by somebody. But that's films that have already been shot, already been processed, and already been enjoyed by the family. So they sell on eBay a lot. A lot. And they typically sell for $5 a roll. I mean, there's nothing to them. And I'm always looking just for something that might be a little interesting. So I want to show you guys something. Let me move the chat window. Okay. I'm sorry. Ben is way better at this live streaming stuff than I am. OBS is, you know, it's all foreign to me. Okay, so here's the first image. You see I have the price blacked out. This is a seller on eBay that's selling baseball, Super 8 baseball film rolls, previous unreleased Stephen Mustang Oak. Okay, so let me, for those of you, okay, so we'll look at that for a second. And let me tell you what that's supposed to say. It's supposed to say, little kid's baseball game in Super 8, watched many times by the family. It's the Stevens family in Mustang, Oklahoma. Okay, in Mustang, Oklahoma, the Stevens family. Okay, follow me on this one. This is somebody that certainly did not do any due diligence. This is a photograph of one of the rolls. Okay, baseball, 1976. Here's what the seller calls Stephen. It's Mrs. H.L. Stephen. Now, one Google search told me that Miss Helen Lois Stevens from Mustang, Oklahoma died in 2020. Helen Lois Stevens from Mustang, Oklahoma. Okay, Mrs. H.L. Stevens. Okay. So far, nothing really rare or anything. Another photo. Clearly, we're just dealing with somebody's home movies. I think there's 14 of them. Here's the description. A box of 18 Super 8 reels, mostly labeled specific baseball, appearing to show spring training, minor and major league of Stephen from Mustang, Oklahoma. I have no way to view the material, but they look incredibly well preserved. I honestly don't know if I'm selling away something valuable, but I got it in a lot of stuff, and here it is. Free, secure shipping. Free, secure shipping. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, so here is the original. That's not it. That's another one I was going to show you. Hold on. We'll get to that one in 1 second. There's the original listing. Here is the asking price for Mrs. Stevens' old home movies. Just let that sink in for a second. Just let it sink in for 1 second. That's what she's asking for, Mrs. Stevens. Not Stevens, not little man Steven playing minor league. It might be minor league, and likely they're minors playing Little League Baseball. I see them all the time. I have a locker full of somebody's old home movie. People's movies, you know. I buy them looking for, you buy them looking for a little gem of, you know, 1970s New York City or Las Vegas, you know, something fun to show. Yeah, $3,500 US, and you alone can have Steven's baseball films. Well, not you alone, because I'm sure Steven and his children now are enjoying them as well. For old Bo Jackson, yeah, maybe if it was old Bo Jackson footage, you know, of maybe from a player in the dugout filming him or something like that, maybe. That's nice. That's a fair price. Woo! That's it. All right. So we got one more. I just thought you guys would enjoy that. And again, I am not, people sell things. I don't actually blame the seller. I really don't, because you don't know. I mean, maybe you started at $1 and keep that listing the way it is. eBay will tell you how much it's worth. You know, the buyers will tell you it's worth. Start it low, whatever it goes to, that's what it was worth. All right, back to this one. Here is one more really quick. This is a simple roll of Kodak Ektachrome 160 sound film. We all loved it. We loved Ektachrome sound film. We just loved sound film. I mean, oh my goodness. So this is a roll that was shot already and processed and enjoyed by the family, just like we talked about. And it's, I gotta say, it's pretty reasonably priced. You know, if you're interested in that family's film, look down the edge at the photos. You can clearly see it's just a roll of film that they sent to Kodak and got it processed. Relatively decent price, a little high probably. But here's the description, and let's take note of exactly what the seller wrote in the description. You ready? Unopened and unused. This roll of film in its original package. Condition: this film unopened and still sealed. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Let's look again. Unopened and still sealed. I mean, for only $13.50 plus $5.38 shipping, you can have that brand new, unopened, still sealed, ready to shoot Ektachrome 160 Super 8 sound film. They probably did that exactly, Jeffrey. Cut and pasted. All right, I'm done poking fun at people on eBay. It's just so easy to do. So easy to find. And I scour eBay like you guys regularly. And those are just two that happened upon me this week, and there were many, but those were just two that I felt like had to be shared. Speaking of Super 8 Ektachrome sound film, a viewer sent me these. I have not processed them yet. I just wanted to show you guys, because I'm always excited. Ooh, smells like Cracker Jacks. You know, when you get something special in there. Sent me these found films. Look at that. Those are going to be fun and exciting. This is bringing me back to the cameraman Mike sound films. Look at this. Only one of them is showing fully exposed. That one right there. But these two, I did the pencil test, and according to the pencil test, these are close to fully exposed. But they don't say exposed. And you guys know how I do my pencil test. So this is always fun and exciting. When I get these in from viewers, it's really exciting, because I mean, honestly, I don't know where he got them. I need to email him and find out exactly where he got them from. But he bought a camera, and they were with the camera. In that case, I'm sitting on a gold mine. Yeah, Lyle, no kidding. Imagine someone selling a Doctor Who film recordings from Lost. Woo, that would be awesome. Jeffrey, so I'm reading these backwards because I'm so far behind, and I think I have like 10,000 slides of my family. You are a billionaire. Stephen liked to play on the grassy knoll. Now, see, Ben, now you're talking. Because if that was from the grassy knoll, then $3,500 would be a steal. Zapruder film, I'd buy it. You're not, I'm not kidding. I get you. I'm with you, Mike. I would too. Too many times the zero button, maybe the price is $3, $5. I know. What can you do though? I mean, you just kind of chuckle at them. Now we can have AI make up this. Yeah. And who knows what you'll get when you do that. Super 8 sound film was so cool. I know, it still is. I have quite a bit of it, and I still shoot it. I encourage everyone to send Mike more every week to make this a segment every week. I'm dying. I keep looking, and if I come across some that are insane like that, I can guarantee you, Lyle, they're going to go on my live stream. Not to poke fun, particularly at the seller, but just overall, just to enjoy. This is life, you know. Can't use eBay anymore since they changed the payment methods to only PayPal and credit card, and I don't use either. Oh no, bummy! I didn't even know that. We had a 400-foot roll of 500T and 35mm that we ended at 170. Wow, that's, well, depends. Is that new stuff? If that's new, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good price, Bonnie. Unopened. Wow, you have original unopened Ektachrome. Yeah, I have lots of it. You know what I have a lot of? I have quite a bit of old Kodachrome in the freezer from the 90s, so not super old, sound striped film. Is the battery pack for the intergovernmentor for a Minolta D10 the same that runs the camera too? I do not know. I think you mean intervalometer, but I'm sure it is the same. Jim says an ISO 6080 Buyu 5008 and 600 the best sound quality. Bad and horrible eBay listens. Cue the goofy music. It's from 2007, so that's likely very, very early Vision 3 or very, very late Vision 2. That was right around the changeover, Bonnie. Either way, probably a pretty good deal. The highest upper class of Super 8 cameras, the Nagra. I so miss my Nagra 4. I loved my Nagra recorder. Sadly, never really got to field use it, but I had it 25 years ago, and I loved it. Do you have to expose your old Ektachrome at X? Yes, definitely, Ben. You definitely have to overexpose Ektachrome, old Ektachrome. Especially this is old Ektachrome. See the blue rectangle over there? That blue rectangle is a telltale sign that this is from the 70s. Wonder if Elvis had a Super 8 projector. That would be cool, probably. I got something else from a longtime viewer and a really good guy. I don't know if he's watching, but maybe he'll watch the rerun or the non-live. His name is Jake. And Jake, if you're watching, thank you so much. I got the package from you yesterday that I was not expecting. Jake has sent me some things in the past, including this Argus brick camera right here. That's right on my wife's lower lip, right there. And he just sent me a box with a bunch of film cans, 8 Super 8 film cans and reels. These 4 home movies, we're going to watch one of them here in just a second. And this, the Argus IRC, really cool camera. Now it's got, I put a little piece of tape on it because the pressure plate, you know, the little pressure plate keeps the film flat in the back under here on the film door, popped off. So I need to get that back on there. But what a fantastic little camera. He's a big fan of Argus cameras, and he has a lot of these Argus bricks. And he sent me that one, and he just yesterday, I got this in the mail. Again, ignore the blue tape. That's just to hold the back on. Not the back, but you know what I'm talking about. The little springy thing, the little pressure plate that holds the film. So that'll be a fun little experiment. I don't know if it works. It's hit and miss with those. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Elvis was a very early adopter of video technology. His contract with RCA gave him access. Yeah, you're not kidding, Ben. 16mm, he could afford it. I didn't know that, Jeffrey. They used an S65. Great little cameras. I have a couple of Niso cameras, neither of which work. 1048 and a 6056, I believe I have. Or a 4056. I can't remember which one it is. It's fully decked out. Takes the 200-foot mags. I got the aluminum case, everything for it. My chair is awful squeaky. I have the same Argus as a Sculpture. It's gorgeous. These old Argus cameras are amazing. So he also sent me, how are we doing on time? We okay? Yeah, 35 minutes. He also sent me these 4 films. They came in the package. And I didn't know what they were. I do now. And they're pretty interesting. They're not from Steven in Mustang, Oklahoma. You know, the baseball player that played, you know, for the New York Yankees. This is from, I think, New Jersey. I think these came out of New Jersey, originally. From Cranford, New Jersey. Cranford, New Jersey. Yep, okay. I don't know New Jersey too well. I've only been there once, a long time ago. But these, I don't know if they were shot in Cranford, New Jersey. But they are old, and they're regular 8. Regular 8. Hey, Super Cinna 100 is here. Nisos are lovely, but I've yet to find a good working example. Shame, really very complicated. I took one apart. I took one of them apart, and the worst mistake I ever made, because a part fell out and a couple things fell out, and I was able to figure it out. But there's one piece, I have no idea where it goes. So you're right. You're 100% right about that. The Nisos are unbelievably precise cameras. They're probably the quietest Super 8 cameras, but they're also probably the most finicky. Love that film, autofocus. Yeah. I have a Niso Pro that is the 24 frame. Hey Jim, since I got you here, Jim Cahill, does Brendan work on the Niso? I know he sells Nisos, I'm pretty sure, but do you know, does he work on them? That would be a really good resource, because there are millions of Niso cameras out there that don't work. But for some reason I feel like you may have told me already, but I feel like he works on them. Creator of Phineas and Ferb used a Senkyo XL420 fun. That is a fun fact. RCA had the large video discs that were read via stylus. Was that like the laser discs? Is that what you're talking about, Lyndon? I have a bunch, or I had a bunch of laser discs, but I think those are different, right? Laser discs were read via laser. New Jersey times 3 times 4. 2, 3, 4. Katie says, I have an Argus brick and put red leather on it. It's they're fantastic looking cameras. They really are. This one's quite a bit dusty now. I mean, does it get any more 60s than that? Look at that thing. I'm dying to use it. I don't shoot a lot of still film anymore. I used to shoot tons of it. I need to get back into it. Don't look at the shelves. They're really dusty. Quit looking. Manny says, that's awesome, Jim. The 24 frames per second, never see those really. Beautiful machines. They are beautiful, but man. Uh-oh, power surge. I'm working on putting the detached wires on the battery holder of the Copal Sectonic 300 Super 8 camera. I want it to go work. It looks amazing. Yeah, that's a great looking camera, Jeffrey. He sent me a picture. I think I showed those on here. The Copal. Braun manufactured the Niso models. Yes, they did. In fact, for a while it was Braun Niso. Yes, the Filmwave does work on Nisos. The Niso 6080 is the most sophisticated Super 8 camera ever made. That I can agree with, because I took one. I think mine may not be a 6080. I can't remember, but it's really complicated inside. Well, that's good to know. Thank you, Jim. No CD, RCA. The RCA Select Division. I remember those as well, Jeffrey. Laserdisc was... Oh, they were the rival format. Okay. Only Argus A was a beauty because F came. The C3 was a box like a Rolly. So RCA basically wrecked themselves with the CED Selectivision format. It took a very long time to release it, and the time it was released, Laserdisc already was available. I did not know that. CED was only on the market for a year or so. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know Brendan over at the Film Wave personally, but Jim talks very highly of him, and I trust Jim. And I know he's used Brendan, I think is the owner. And I think he's used Brendan. I don't think he's that far from me. I'm in Florida, and I think he's in St. Augustine area, and I'm in the Daytona Beach area, so we're only about an hour apart. I don't know him. I've never talked to him, but, I mean, if he's a resource, then we need to figure him out. Anyway, back to this. So Jake sent me these. I had no idea what they were. One of them is color, and 3 of them are black and white. But I want to show you guys one of these. Pretty interesting, actually. I think they're from the 40s and 50s. 40s and 50s. They're regular 8. The one I'm going to show you, I believe, is this one right here. This is the one that I have queued up. And then I got one more little film I want to show you guys in a minute, too. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the 200-foot magazines. I got this back out. The 200-foot Super 8 magazine. And I got one of my favorite cameras sitting right here that accepts it. We're going to load it. So this is, remember these? Metal take-up reel? Movie time! There's the popcorn from Jeffrey. The research and development and marketing for the CED format basically ruined RC. Oh, I already did that, right? I already read that one. They wanted to push us. Oh, I got you. They wanted to push it as much as possible. So here's the film. Let me tell you guys, I scanned this earlier today. I did not crop it, so you're going to see the next and the previous frame, and you're going to see the sprocket hole, and it's not been stabilized, so it moves around a little bit. My scanner is not, you know, fantastic at stabilization. It does okay. The metal spools, I know. The only reason I don't like them, they're fantastic. They hold up forever. But they're tough on my scanner, because the scanner posts on my scanners are screws. They're steel screws, and these scrape the screws, and eventually over time it wears them down. That's the only reason, but yeah, they last forever. So this, there was an edge code on this, and it was a triangle and a plus. You guys know I love my edge codes, and that means this film was from 1950. That's when this one was made, 1950. And on the box, it says, scribbled, can you guys, you're not going to be able to read it, but I will try. It says Airco, black and white. Airco plant. Now Airco, from what I did a little bit of research, was a company back then. I'm guessing this was in 50 or 51. Yeah, the box art's great. That Airco did like oxygen, acetylene. They were mainly known for gases for welders. They made the tanks, I think, or the gases. They produced the gas for welding, and at one point they actually produced the welders, and that company was sold, and I think eventually now it's called Air Gas, which is very common around here now. At any rate, let's cue this film up. I want to show you this is regular 8, not Super 8, from what I believe to be 1950. It's black and white. Let me find it here. All right. Here we go. It's 3 minutes long. And this is the Airco plant in 1950, I believe. Look at those trucks. Now, the film did break on me while I was scanning. It's very brittle, and I had to splice it, so you're going to see a crazy jump here in just a minute. That's the splice. There it was. Yeah, really clear for a film that was shot probably 73 years ago. Thanks, Jim. Yeah, the scan's not too shabby. If I stabilize it and sort of clean it up a little bit, I don't think it would be that bad. Thanks, Ben. Love me some regular A2. I'm with you, Manny. Yeah, you're not kidding, Mike. That the regular 8 cameras are just night and day different than Super 8. I know. It almost looks like it was done like there should be this deep voice overlay talking about the plant. It's almost like it was professionally done. Yes, very much so, radios. Yeah, Jim, I'm okay with it. It doesn't dance too much. The scanner, it does a pretty fair job at stabilizing, the one I use. But it could, I could put it in DaVinci Resolve and get it much better. Saving history, that's right. Sharp detail. That is on the RetroScan 4K, Ben, yes. Dynamic range is another level, yeah. Only thing I did is adjust the levels just a tiny bit. I'm looking at possibly getting a wet gate for both of my scanners, for the RetroScan Mark 1 and for the Mark 2. Not positive. There's a guy that's custom building them now. I know, isn't it, Russell? I was surprised, honestly, when I did this, at how well it was shot, to be honest. Yeah, I know, Mike. Even here, and this is duping it down. This is down to 1080. That knew how to expose. That's right, Mike. Whoa, we don't want to see that. That was it. That was a cool film. And there's, I will say that was probably the most interesting of the bunch. But so thank you so much, Jake. I don't know if you're watching now or later. I think if you were watching now, you would comment. But thank you so much for sending all of that stuff to me. That was a lot of fun. It was fun going through those films, and it's just, I can't thank you enough. Bonnie says, weird question, bud, but would you be able to buy 4 rolls of FOMA orthochromatic 16mm film in 100-foot rolls, go in a darkroom with a red light, and glue the rolls into one 400-foot roll, use it, and then develop it? Well, I guess you could, Bonnie. I don't know how well it's going to go through the camera. It's very tricky splicing film together in the dark or even with a red light. I would caution against that. That might be tricky. Chaplin in modern times, that's right. What was the ISO of the box speed? I don't know. 25, my guess, Ben? It's not on here. It's Kodachrome, so I'm going to guess 25. So they had to have plenty of light in there. It's not on here. You know what camera was used? I do not. This is why scanning at high resolution always makes sense. Gotta tickle out as much detail as possible when scanning. Love that 4K. Yeah, I'm with you. Definitely, Mike. There, Steven. Very cool footage. Steven, while I got you really quick, New World Film. I sent your films back on Friday. It took a little while longer, but they went back on Friday. So thank you for being patient. I guess you could. Remjet says, I guess you could, but it might be risky running through. Yeah, running through the camera is what I'd be worried about. That was cool. Thanks, Manny. Modern times. Bonding undeveloped film. Wonder if that would affect the developing. Well, it may come apart. That's the problem. In the developer, the heat of the developer. That would be tricky for me. I don't think I would do it. think Kodachrome was 25 until they started. Yes, I believe you're right, Mike. I got the 1 million. Steven sent me an email and asked me how much to send his film back, and I guess he got my email because he's got the $1 million all lined up. One of my favorite cameras is a little lost camera called the Shinon Pacific 200/8XL. It was Shinon's offering. I think it was their battle against Canon 1014 XLS. I have not shot with this very much. I had one many years ago, and I have one now. I've had this one for 5 or 10 years, I don't remember. And I've only used it 5 or 6 times. It does have a quirk. It's a great camera. If you're looking for something that has tons of features, I'm going to do a video on it eventually, but you can see the lens there. Has tons of features. Now here's the quirk. There's batteries in it right now. I'm sure you guys can hear that, right? There's a motor going without it running. You can still run it, and it's loud, but mine has this motor running until you either pull the handle a little bit or release the handle or pop the door a little bit, which I don't want to do when you got film in it. So if you pop the door. Now it is a sound camera, and one ultra cool thing about this, and we're not going to get too far into this, but one ultra cool, and by the way, this camera, actually I think this camera came out before the 1014, by the way. It only properly meters up to 160, really, film, but it also has manual exposure. So with manual exposure, you can really meter any film you want. The beauty of it is that it was able to accept these fun things. Remember we talked about this last week. This is 7242 old Ektachrome sound film. You guys remember these? There's somebody on eBay. It was almost another my eBay things that I was going to post. There's somebody on eBay trying to sell one of these for like $300 or something like that. You know, way too much for me. I think I paid $30 for that. But there's a little button at the top of the camera up here. It's up under. You're not going to be able to see it. Not the orange one. That's the pop the film out button. You slide it, and then the whole top of the camera opens up. See that? Opens up. You see it against my white hair. Well, it opens up so that you can do this. And you always put your film in. You put the gate side in first. It's very difficult to do one-handed. Snap it in. Close the door. And we're fired. Ready to go. Look at that. And now it's running. Yes, I know. I could pop the handle a little bit. You gotta admit, it just looks cool. I mean, add some bellows and, you know, a rod system or something, you know, and it's a really cool looking camera. Has intervalometer, fades, dissolves, different filming speeds, 18, 24, and 36. Sound capabilities, if you want to use Soundstripe film, which is what this is, and you still can use it. Now, I would probably end up developing this in black and white, more than likely. I don't know. Uh-oh. Handle triggers power a bit. I know, Mike. And I'm terrified to take it apart to do anything to try to solve that problem. Because I love the camera. So if I have to just click the handle every now and then, I will. The Japanese cams were so nice, no matter if Canon, Nikon, or smaller ones like Yashica or Canon. They were gorgeous. You're not kidding, Mike. Just bring a changing bag with you in case you need to resplice. I mean, you can try it. 47 euros per roll. What's that, about 52, 53 US dollars? That's about right. But how much is a 400-foot roll? The writing seems the writing. So it seems the wiring, if the shutter release button needs some overhaul, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely going to be an issue. And it's not, and the battery compartment's perfectly clean, so I know that there was no issue with corrosion getting in. Nikon didn't make a 1014 XLS competitor. No, but they made that nice Nikon R10, but it wasn't as feature rich. Ben just talked about that Nikon. Beautiful cameras, and I want one really bad. But I'd love to have a Nikon R10 or even an R8 just to compare with all of these higher end cameras. But then I got to get the Blue 4008, and I got to get them all. Yeah, big camera mags. The sound, probably the sound drive. It might be. You might be right, Jim. I don't know. Gosh, that is one big cartridge. Some of the Bronisos, yes, they did. The other one I have out there takes these magazines. I also have my Elmo 1012S that takes these magazines. I have that right down there. You should make a film to take advantage of the long run time, like do the whole thing in a single shot. That's a great idea, Ben. I do have one other that's still factory sealed. This was factory sealed when I bought it. I opened it on a live stream. 4 minutes to 3 minutes. How long would that film be? Yeah, 18. If you shoot this at 18 frames per second, so you're about 3 minutes 20 seconds. So 640 and 12, 13 minutes. About a little over 13 minutes of footage with one of these at 18 frames per second. It's not too shabby. That looks amazing. I know. I love the look of it. Reminds me of the old Super 8 Sound. You guys remember that company? Now known as Pro 8mm? Super 8 Sound. I have an old brochure of theirs from 1991, 2, 3, something like that. And they call it the Pro Studio. It's just one big photograph. And I think they have the camera, I don't remember which camera, with the magazine on top of it within that Pro Studio. They're very loud. Yeah. Oh, the cartridges. Yeah, well, the camera itself is really loud anyway. It's not the size that matters. Honey, what? Remjet just said it's not the size that matters. The cartridges. I think the CA20 minutes at 18 frames per second this side towards the screen. Yeah, it's more like 13, I think. Well, so 3, 12, 13, 13 and a half, maybe squeeze 14. FOMA only sells 16mm and 100 foot, and I have no plans on making. Oh, they're not going to make them bigger. No. Thinking about maybe buying a 200 foot roll of Super 8 from Whitner for 44 euros. Do it. Is that new stock that's in there? What stock is that, Bonnie? That's a good price. Oh, it's not a cartridge though, right? It's just 200 feet, because these are almost impossible to reload. Yeah, Jim, I've heard a lot of people say that same thing. 110 feet in the one. I know, she would end up with like 440 feet. You're right, Lyle. Hello, Jeff. Been washing my 56 T-Bird for the car show tomorrow. We just showed a movie from 1950 or 51. And it had some old trucks in it. At 18, about 13 minutes. At 24, about 10 minutes. Yeah. A great camera to use for that Filmboy24 fantastically fearful fun festival, film festival, whenever that happens. Slow-mo shots. Yeah, no kidding. It was probably the Blue 7008. Right? It's not the size that matters, it's the amount of film. That's why I like Technoscope. I wonder those big carts that are splitting apart and reloading, they're very difficult. Hey, who is that? Dave Knopp is here. I just got here, you'll have to start from the top. Alright, going from the beginning again. Hey guys, no double Super 8 for you. I don't have any. I have one double Super 8 camera and it doesn't work well. It runs fine. It's a Pathé, but it's got some issues. Missing the viewfinder for one. That's no good. Dave Knopp from Knopp Top is here. Guys, you really got to check out his channel. He does some crazy shorts. He knows how to do shorts. And by the way, Jeffrey sent me an email. He did a film with his what camera is it? I don't know. What was that camera? It looked a lot like Super 8 actually. He used a digital camera, older digital camera, and used an old D-mount 8mm, 13mm lens and shot some footage, and it looked great. The Nitso 6080 and 9008 could be modified to use the 400-foot mag. That's awesome. Ben says, by the way, I found no record of people retrofitting Canon 814 or 1014 XLS to take those big mags, so that was a false memory. I have never seen one, Ben. Never. And I have several 1014 XLS cameras, and I can promise you that, yeah, I know you were saying retrofit, but they certainly don't take the 400-foot mags. UN54, NP100, NC400, and experimental color 320. That's a good price, Bonnie. I think that's a good price. That's a great price. For 200 feet? For any of those, I would probably take. I have one more film I want to show you guys too. Speaking of Whitner, I bought a camera. Let's put this one to the side. Actually, let's unload it. This has a release, this little red button. It should pop the cartridge. It pops it out, twist it out. So I bought a camera, and I don't remember what it was. I think it's my old Senkyo camera. Yeah, it is. I showed it to you guys one week on a live stream. I don't remember what model. It's a great camera, but it came with some film, and it's really the reason I bought the camera, even though the camera works. This was presumably partially exposed, but it came with this, and I had never shot this before. I really didn't even know what it was. A lot of you guys will know, but I had never shot it before. This is Whitner Chrome 200D. When I first saw it, I thought instantly that says Chrome. I thought it was black and white film from Whitner, but it's not. It's a color reversal film. And it takes the standard E6 processing. So I kind of figured it'd be similar to Ektachrome. Well, what it actually, let me move this camera because I got to grab my sheet here. I wrote down my notes. What it's an old Agfa film. And this is on the Whitner site, and I actually tell you what it is. It's an old Agfa film, Agfa RSX2 200. It was meant for still photography, and let me show you. This is kind of funny. It actually says on the box, the use in motion picture cameras is at your own risk. So I was a little bit skeptical when I first looked at it. Here it is. It's the cartridge. Nothing special. I think it meters in your camera. It would do, I think it's going to, based on the notch, it's going to meter it at 250 ISO. I used my Canon 514 XL, which is my go-to, and it will meter up to 250 ISO. So I figured, let's just give it a shot. Took this to, you guys remember a few weeks back, my family and I took a little 4-day excursion to St. Augustine Beach, and we hung out on the beach for 4 days, and I took some footage. Remember, I took a whole bunch of cameras, but only took a tiny bit of footage. So this is a little bit of what I took. This film was discontinued, by the way, in 2015. The Agfa stock was apparently fully depleted, thus depleting Whitner's stock. So you can't get this anymore. I was happy to be able to shoot at least a partial roll, and there's Piper. I don't know if you can see her peeking out. We're not ending yet, just so you know.
I know.
I'm going to show them a film. Oh, you want to see it too because you're in it? Is that why you want to see it? Oh, wear a helmet. Dangerous filmmaking. Hello, Piper. Everybody's waving at you. Say hello, peeps. All right, I'm going to show you guys this film. It's only there. A part of it was exposed already, like the first like 5 feet, and it was not. You're not going to see that. It was just black. I think it was somebody taking the film out, shooting something in the dark. I don't know. It didn't come out. The Pipinator for the Lomo Kino. All right, popcorn ready. Jeffrey's got his popcorn. It's this one, Piper. See the little popcorn? All right. Let's get that queued up. And you tell them when we're ready. Say, we're ready. Let's move. Let's roll it.
We're ready.
Again, scanned, overscanned. Sorry, guys. I didn't crop. I'm not a huge fan of showing a sprocket hole, but there it is. Extremely grainy film. Way more grainy than I expected. Way more grainy than I expected. You remember that car, don't you? Hey, there you are. Jim, I shot this with the Canon 514 XL. Mike likes the grain. I do too, but I think that's a little bit even much for my liking. The colors came out quite nice. Yes, I agree with that. A little bit pastel-y. Definitely different than the new Ektachrome 100D. Night and day different. VW thing. That's right, Steven. Thanks, Ben. It's 200 after. Yeah, I know. I expected some grain, but to me, I think that's a little excessive. Overexposed by a stop. No, I think it actually exposed. It does look a little overexposed, but I'm pretty sure the 514 XL exposed this at box speed. Yes, it's all auto exposed. The 514 XL doesn't have manual exposure. It just has the electronic exposure lock, which I did not use. Thank you, Rimjet. Lyndon says, I recall using this cartridge. Oh, I missed it. I recall using this for a day film course at Gage Film. You might know, Ben. I love this overall look of it. Colors and contrast are really sweet. I wish this was available. Yeah, 16mm might look amazing. Whitner still offers Whitner Chrome 100D. I need to try that then. And there, who is that? This was the end of the roll we got. I didn't finish it all in St. Augustine, so we came home and I said, you know what? Piper, pucker up. Here we go. Looks very retro. Has a nice hazy, dreamy look. Yeah, the interior, to me, came out way better than the exterior stuff. And there's the wasp nest underneath our wind chimes. That was it. What'd you think? Too much grain or just enough grain?
Just enough.
Just enough. Very good. Whitner Chrome 200D. Now.
There was a lot of me.
There was a lot of you. Now, I will say this. The film is old. I mean, it was old. I've been shooting a 10-year-old film. Probably a little older than 10 years old. I don't know. There's no edge code on that I could discern. So, it's an old film. I mean, in the older the film stocks, the more you're going to introduce that grain. I did process it in FPP. In FPP's E6. And it was brand spanking new when I used it. So I know the chemicals were good and fresh. Whitner for the Whitnauer Cine Twin. That's a crazy setup, radios. Indoor scene of Piper came out. Yeah, I was really surprised at how well that indoor scene came out. Great bokeh on the wasp. I know, right? Right? Because I think it really, really opened up. Because it was kind of cloudy out. Interiors are the best. I agree, Barry. I know, guys, I missed a lot of comments. I'm sorry. It gets hard to keep up sometimes. Footage in action. Did other film companies use edge codes like Kodak? Not to my knowledge, Mike. I mean, I think they all used, a lot of them used edge codes, but I don't know that they published publicly what they were for. Everything looked wonderfully natural. Thank you, Mike. No color tint. I did not mess with the color at all on that, Mike. Question, do you try to scan this film in black and white? No, I did not try that particular one in black and white. I have done that. Tried to, like, you can invert it in post or desaturate it in post. I did not. And you can scan it in black and white as well with my scan software. Interior looks much nicer than exterior for some reason. I don't know why. I'm with you. I 100% agree. And the wide shots looked way, way worse. That's common with Super 8 and really small gauge film, that wide shots will be a lot less crisp and sharp, but even amplified with that stock for some reason. Anytime you really telephoto, oftentimes you get a much cleaner, crisper, sharper image for some reason. So I don't know. But overall, I'm pretty content. I am. This Whitner 200D really had such a fantastic natural or neutral look. Even nicer than Kodak Vision 3. Now you're messing with my Vision 3. I love my Vision 3. But I wish I could still find it. I wish I could find more 200D. Was it hard? No, not at all, Jeffrey. I developed it in E6. The three-step E6, the same I use for all the other E6 stuff I do. I did another roll the same day that I processed that. I did a roll of 100D that I shot with my family in Indiana when we were there. And I actually processed it in E6, reversal, scanned it. It's already uploaded to YouTube for my family to see, but I think I'm going to do an entire quick video. I think it's the best 100D that I've ever shot, developed, and scanned myself. It came out better for me than any other 100D I've ever done. And it's just a mishmash of our little fun time in Indiana, hanging with my family and Dave. It was fun. I got to hang with Dave Knopf for a little bit in Indiana when I was there. That was back in March. Jeffrey says, okay, no, it was not hard to develop. The edge numbers on 16, 35, and 70 was how the negative cutters would use the cutting. Yes, correct. Not all six, but 16 millimeter did also have edge codes for identifying the year. I don't know so much 35 and 70. Hey, Rich, Joe Schmo is here. Hi, everyone. I'm just over at the cat shelter catching the end of the stream. Cheers. Hopefully you can catch it not live, Rich, but it's really good to see you, my friend. I like the grain and the color. Not what we're used to see. Yeah, not at all what I'm used to seeing. Especially 50D, probably my favorite overall color cine film stock. Kodak Vision 3 50D. And then you guys saw I have tons of Vision 2 50D. But I like grain. I love grain, but I don't like it in so much excess that it sort of takes away from tones or takes away from the enjoyment of the picture itself. So, I've covered everything that I think I wanted to cover. We're 1 hour and 12 minutes in. If you haven't done so already. Piper was here, she'd be doing that. Smash the like button. Yeah, do that for me if you would. I would appreciate. I always watch a replay if I am not here live. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to cover quickly with you guys. Next Sunday is up in the air. I'm not 100% sure. Hit the bell notification. Good job, Rimjet. Smashed. I'm not positive on next Sunday, but I will let you know. You guys always know to look in the community. I'm looking at my computer. Look in the community tab on my channel. I always post no later than Sunday morning, whether or not we're having the stream or not. No giveaways today. I did last week or the week before. I gave some film away. No giveaways today. Sorry. But I want to do some more of those. I also have a, you know what, before we go, let's take a minute. I got a question for, let me see if we still have anybody in the, okay, there's still people in the room. I have a question. It's a legal question for you guys. And I know you're not lawyers. And I will not follow this advice blindly. You know I'm a found film guy. I want to publish a zine. Some type of a zine. Okay? If I were to take not footage like this. Not footage like this. Right? Not stuff that was already previously seen and developed and all that. But footage like this. My regular found film, I develop, I scan, I show to everyone. Am I within my rights to publish a frame of that film, even if it's a human being? By the way, I 100% own the film, but I don't know that I own the rights to the film content. So I'm a little skeptical. Now, first and foremost, if I have a zine, I won't sell too many copies. I understand that. Jeffrey, you are a lawyer. Yes. So I'm not overly worried about it, if I'm being honest. Publishing a photo of somebody from 45 years ago that probably will never see it in the first place, and it would never be a compromising photo anyway. You guys see the found film that I developed. A Filmboy zine. Public domain is your friend. I know. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but I'm a law follower. I don't like being that guy. I don't want to get too far crazy in fighting the law. But I just, like I say, I own the rights to the cartridge. But technically, I guess I don't really own the rights to distribute for profit the images. Or maybe I do. I don't know. I'm up in the air. My wife says don't worry about it. I'm probably going to not worry about it. What do you guys think? Oh, but I have come up against a problem in this area. Public domain, yeah. You're a jailhouse lawyer. Shame, loads of great stuff. I am jealous of your scanner. Don't be jealous. Oh, anytime. Public domain, okay. Filmboy zine. That isn't powder developer you use, is it? No, Rimjet, it is not. It's liquid. The E6, I keep saying it, I'm sorry. E6 is liquid developer that starts as a liquid as well. You have to mix the liquids. See someone trying to sue you. God, you're right, Mike. It's annoying. Ben says it could have come up against problems in this area. Did you shoot it? If yes, then you can probably do it. If not, then I'm unsure. No, it's found film, Bonnie. It's all the found film, like the cameraman Mike stuff. All of that found film. If I pull one frame to publish in a zine or a book, would I be okay? I'm totally not worried about any images that are of landscapes or buildings or properties. I don't really care about that. I care about if I should post or publish a photo of a person. So it's a film they have no rights, public domain. Probably, Jim. And by the way, I also think it would never come up as an issue. First, prove that this old piece of grainy footage, one frame, is you. You bought it, it's yours. If it's filmed in a public space, it's copyright free. Thank you, Super Senna. I think you're right. I was a copyright guy for music, but similar principles. Okay, good. All right, I'm getting the feel for it. I'm getting the feel. If you can't prove you have rights to the films, it can stop festivals and stuff from showing your film. Yes, I'm not worried about that though, Ben, because I would never submit this stuff to festivals. Who knows how many people in those films are still alive? Maybe one of them is the Zodiac Killer. Finders keepers. You're right, Eric. Thank you. Donation to purchase. A donation to purchase. God, that's why I keep Dave around. Copyright marker. The film doesn't have a copyright marker. That's a good point, Barry. And here's the thing. If somebody came to me and said, you know, hey, that's my dad. You know, that was really private. That was this, that was that. I don't know. I feel for him. I wouldn't publish it. Next episode, let's collect the 3,500 to buy. I'm with you, Jim from Greece. The copyright belongs to the photographer, and if you find him, you will be delighted. Yes, Jeffrey. I agree. I think the copyright does belong to the photographer, and I would be happy to find that photographer. And the bottom line is, I know I never will. The issue would not be persons captured on the film, but that in the U.S., copyright of photographs, still or motion, is almost always held by the photographer, but I can't imagine it being a huge deal. Thank you, Noah, and I'm with you on that. Yeah, it's going to be, for me, it would be a very simple, partial line description with each still frame, possibly where the seller sold me the film, like maybe what city or country or state. And, you know, maybe minimal information like it's Ektachrome 100 or 160. Let's bring this up again next week and see if someone figured it out, if it would be legally feasible. Keep that in mind, folks. Let me know. Just avoid logos. Yes, fine, I guess. Non-issue. Never say never. Jedediah is here. Hello, Jeff. Worst case, you get a cease and desist and you might find out who it is. And I'm okay with that, because if I sell 100 zines for a donation, then that's a success. If they want to take my $60 away from me, total profit, then that's fine. In the UK, there is provision for orphan media in the law. You have to put the footage on a public register for a certain amount of time and pay a fee. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that, Ben, but that's good to know. Right, how stupid they look, or they're... No, I'm not going to put any of that. Knoptop's right, donation rather than purchase. I think we might be onto something there. I have no idea, not a lawyer. Family Entertainment and Copyright Act of 2005. Ooh. I think it should be fine as long as it's not showing anyone unfavorably. And it wouldn't. I've never, first of all, ever shown a film in the many that I've shown of anyone in an unfavorable position. Maybe you could wait 100. Maybe I'll do that. Right. Maybe in 21, 24, I'll put that zine out. That's a good idea, Jim. An O word. The law is often unkind to artists. Always unkind to artists. Always. Always. But I get it. I mean, if I don't really want people stealing my YouTube videos. I don't want people stealing my footage that I shot. But if I'm gone and somebody finds my films 50 or 60 years from now, I really don't care what you do with them. Don't make me look like a clown, but I personally don't care. You know what? Here's a blanket statement. In 50, 60 years, if you find my footage, feel free to use it responsibly, at no charge. Ask Steamboat Willie. Maybe I'll ask AI and see, because AI's never wrong, right? Guys, thank you so much. Keep that in mind, and we'll talk about it a little bit. We'll touch on it next week, as long as we have the stream next week. I can't remember. I feel like there was something going on Sunday, but maybe not. Take a breath. 1 hour and 22 minutes. Thanks, Mike Wildew. Thanks, Remjet. Thank you, everybody, every week that makes this stream possible. Love you guys like family. I really do. I feel like you guys are family to me. And when I say guys, I mean girls too. That means you, Katie, and Bonnie, and anyone else that's female that I'm not aware of. Did I get all that out? I'm late again. Ian, you're late. Dang it. Thank you, everybody. Everybody have a great week, productive week. Shoot some films. If I mention your name early, or your Tri-X films, like Jeffrey already shot, get them done. Get them sent in. No charge for the free legal advice. Thank you, Jeffrey. No Rickroll at all. Guys, I love you all like family. I will see you next Sunday.